to the republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back once again into Saturday evening, and we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And I am here tonight with Mr. Mark.
Mr. Mark is here.
Everyone else is out of town. They are sick, or they're playing. What does Dean play? The freaking bass or cello or something?
Fortnite? No, just kidding.
He may play Fortnite. I'm not sure.
The bass, something bass. Yeah.
Dean will be pretty spotty, I think, over the next probably month.
I don't think he's a cello player, because celloists do it in the chair with their legs spread wide. So that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing for Dean. So I texted him to see if he could show up. He never. I think he's busy. We should call him. Maybe he's on the back.
I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
So hopefully, guys, and whoever's watching on Facebook Live, you guys will have to let us know. I suppose that hopefully I fixed the audio. I was able to figure out how to plug the audio into this box. So anything that plays out of this box should show up, or should be able to hear it a lot better and a lot more clear on Facebook Live. And I think you guys can actually hear our intro now. I think everyone can hear our intro music and anything that we play.
Looking for some feedback. So if anybody,
I know you're listening, Peter. Come on. You always let me know how this goes, and as long as Wi-Fi, which I haven't fixed Wi-Fi yet, but one thing at a time. So how have you been, Mr. Mark?
Pretty good. Did my first week back, after my week off, and things went pretty good. I mean, we're rocking and rolling just like before. Kind of feels like I never left, but that's okay.
Because you took that week off, and I will not to interrupt. I will apologize. I don't know how to shut that freaking beeping noise off. It dings every now and then. I'm not quite sure why or how or whatever. We'll just let it go.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I don't hear it.
You guys sell on you don't hear it at all?
Well, I mean,
when it
not as loud because I have the
gotcha
technology on,
technology. We got our $14.99 headphones on. We're rocking it in here, man.
Yeah.
So hey, Peter likes it. See, Peter, give me some time. I'm a little slow in the tech.
Years.
I'm a couple years behind in the tech department, but $800 later and we're good to go. I'm finding to fix some of this stuff, it just takes money.
Sure. And that grows on trees around here.
I just go out and I pick it off a money tree. I print it out in the basement and kind of, launder the bills a little bit.
Don't be saying that.
Oh, I suppose you're not allowed to do that.
Secret Service, hello.
I tell you what, they can come check the $7 I have in my wallet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you guys selling guns down there now?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Ready for Christmas?
We're selling quite a bit, prior to the big event, the Black Friday sale.
The big event. Ooh, do you guys got you probably can't talk about your Black Friday stuff yet.
No, it's out. The ad's been printed, so it's good to go.
So tell us about the deals, man.
10% off on any firearm, at least 10% off on even clearance firearms. Some guns are more than 10% off. We've got a special on a SIG P365 going. It's a lot better deal than what you'll find at Cabela's.
What's the price on what's that going to be?
So the one at Cabela's, here's the kicker. It's just regular sights, one magazine for $3.99. Ours is $4.99, but you get night sights, you get 3 magazines, and you get a holster.
Yeah, for $4.99.
For $4.99.
If I hadn't quit my job and I'd come buy one, I think my wife would frown. I got looked at funny the other day when I drove my Scout into town.
Oh.
But anyhow, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So you're selling guns, you're getting ready for Black Friday, getting everything stocked up, ready to go. Have you had any every now and then you talk about the odd folks maybe that swing by there. Have you had any of those guys swing in yet?
Well, this is one of my thoughts from behind the gun counter.
Ooh, thoughts from behind. I need to put that on our button. Thoughts from behind the gun counter.
Yeah. So this happens more than once. I mean, this is pretty much an every week situation,
Okay.
and some people are a little more extreme with it than others, but what it is you're there, okay, you make the decision you want to buy a firearm.
Right.
Everybody knows when you buy a firearm at a store, a reputable dealer, that you're going to have paperwork to fill out.
Okay. Yes.
So it should come to no surprise to anyone that you have to fill out the paperwork.
Right.
And yet we still get people that complain about it, and they just,
they say, why do I have to fill this out?
I got to fill this out again. Don't you have me in your system? It's like
it hasn't changed for how many
years has this gone by?
How many years has the NICS check been going on?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
People just like to complain.
Well,
man.
and then, I mean, it's not just that. It's if they get on delay, from
Right.
the NICS check. It's not anything we're doing. We're not, it's
right.
It's the government, the system, or whatever you want to call
You say,
it.
hey, man, you fill out the paperwork or don't buy the gun. I mean, it's totally up to you.
And if you have a clear background, you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
If you have your Idaho Enhanced Concealed Carry permit or a permit period,
then you won't have to worry about it. But you still have to fill out the form.
You've got to fill it out, but you don't have to call it in. And
nope, you're instantly approved.
So do you guys think? I mean, with everything that's going on, what do you see happening next year? Do you think there's going to be a run on stuff, ammo, guns? Are you seeing anything ramp up a little bit right now?
No, not really. Handguns are still primarily, I'd say probably 60 to 65% of our sales are still handguns.
Okay.
I think we have a pretty good selection of handguns. I wish maybe our revolvers were a little bit, more.
Right. You're not having like a run on ammo, people coming in
No,
buying stuff.
Not right now. I didn't really figure anything was going to happen, but our corporate office, they were preparing in case, after the California, their background check on ammo or whatever was going to be, that we were going to have a lot of people coming up from California buying ammo up here. Didn't happen.
I still think that there's going to be a little bit of a run on something.
I think eventually,
next year.
This time next year, depending on the election, yes, of course it will be.
Yeah, I think ramping up to it. I think it's going to go up. So Peter wants to know if you got an AR-10 down there.
We've got where do you see that AR-10?
Right
oh
there.
yeah, okay, I got
AR-10,
it. Okay.
man, you got to learn.
Yeah, so we got but it's like a $3,000 Daniel Defense,
Peter, buy the $3,000 Daniel Defense AR-10 and call me up.
There is a Savage MSR and a 6.5 Creedmoor that's on closeout, I believe, that we might have. So, can't remember the price on it, but yeah, come in and check it out.
So 22 rifle. I'm still thinking I need a good 22 rifle. What the freaking is that noise? I'm sorry about the.
Okay.
Is it just in my headphones?
So you don't want to spend a lot. There's one in the ad. It's I believe $79. It's not a good one, but I want a decent. It's a 20. It's a kid's rifle. So
I'm jobless. I need to shoot these Eurasian doves around here.
Yeah, just
So I've got a little cricket, my kit for my kid,
hey,
but I
pushed fun.
Yeah, but I pushed a little lock on it and I can't find the damn key. I'm thinking about getting a Dremel tool and just
call the locksmith.
Just cutting the lock off. But so what else you got there for like a 22 rifle? Something that's decent. Something I could put a scope on. Just a long rifle.
Well, I mean, we've got one. I think it's coming in on Monday. It's just a Rossi. It's not your top of the line, but it's not going to break the bank either.
Right.
It's like $100, but it's a semi-auto.
Bang bang.
Yeah, 5-shot mag. I mean, it's not much, but it does the job.
I'm gonna look into something. That's about what I need, and I've got an old scope that I took off. As a scope, I took off one of those old. Well, it wasn't an old, but it was one of those Savage rifles, Axis rifles, because I wanted to put like a vortex on it.
Yeah, cheap scope. Yeah.
So I got that scope, and it'd mount right up on there, right?
Yeah, you just have to get the right
rings and clamp her down and bore side it and go for it. So Peter says he'll be in to buy that rifle.
Oh, right on.
if the quality is there.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I got to find me a good 22 rifle and shoot some doves. So
yeah,
anything else?
They're thick around here.
Oh man, I went out. It sounded the other day like it was raining on my truck because they were in the tree.
Oh,
right.
Man, was it what I think it was?
Yeah, but it was the work truck, so I don't. I don't really care. So you've been doing anything else? Anything else fun? Chopped down a Christmas tree yet?
No Christmas trees. Nope. No Christmas till after Turkey Day.
So this is kind of off topic, do you go buy a Christmas tree or do you go up and cut one down?
I go out in the garage and I grab it out of the box and I put it up.
We need to do a podcast video, and we go up to the woods and we'll just shoot one down like the 357 or something.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun?
You get an M60. I know a guy has an M60. We might be able to just drop it down.
I think we just do it like a 350, or you could get a permit. I could get a permit. We need to call on someone else to getting
maybe it's an MT40. I don't know.
Freaking
Anyway.
permit. And what we'll do is we'll do like a 45, a 357, and like a 9, and we'll time each tree.
Or there you go. So you can chop it down.
We'll do it at the same time and see you can cut it down quicker. What do you think?
That'd be a lot of lead flying.
That'd be a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
You know it would. Some
poor little chipmunk comes.
I say we do it. We get up there before it snows and we cut down the Christmas trees with our concealed carry guns.
That's gonna take I'm gonna have to reload a lot.
You don't.
Well, and I'm not gonna waste all my. I'm going to use personal defense ammo for that one
because it's a little quicker.
Well, yeah, because they can chop it down pretty quick.
I tell you what, you bring your range rounds and bring them to me. We'll drill them out a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
We'll kind of create our own.
Notch them.
Yeah, we'll notch them. Kind of create our own little hollow points, and that would be a lot of fun.
Could be.
We'll bring Dean up. We'll make him shoot his down with 22 shorts.
Yeah. Dean, why isn't yours down yet?
No, he'll probably just cheat. He'll probably bring his 45-70 or whatever.
Yeah, one shot.
Boom. So, nothing else?
No, not really.
Hang Christmas lights up? No Christmas at all, though. No.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas.
I don't
anyway.
like putting up decorations. Sucks.
Once I get through, and this is pretty much working retail. I'll do this to you, but Christmas pretty much just retail just ruined it for me.
Oh yeah, it's so. I hear you.
It's about the almighty dollar.
Okay, well,
but I'm here for if anybody needs help buying Christmas presents. I'm here for them. So
okay, so I need help buying some, and I can pick them out, and I'll send you to the register.
Oh well, not in that respect. I'm not here for you that that way, but
well, you said you'd help.
I'd help you pick them out.
Okay, I got you. God, be reasonable, man.
I'm trying.
So, ask me what I did, because no one ever freaking asks me what I did.
Well, we just assume that you were working, or no. Anyway, no. What did you do?
I have a lot of free time now.
But before that, you were working.
I was working.
There you go.
Because I'm always working, right?
Right.
But now I've got a lot of free time. I will say, as much people like to think that this is a job. Do you get paid from the podcast?
No.
Are you receiving checks that I don't know about?
No.
Sponsorship
I don't even
checks?
I have to bring my own coffee. He doesn't even give me coffee.
I buy equipment. Okay. I give Tarver water. If you'd want water, I could give you water.
I might end up with water after this coffee. It's pretty strong.
Is it? Well, damn, I'm all out. But no, I actually, again, I'll talk about it just a little bit because there's some interesting things that came out of it. But my day job, I no longer have anymore. You know how there's that, you've seen that little meme going around that says employees don't leave, they don't leave companies, they leave bad management.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, right on.
That's me. So it's kind of an interesting deal. The job I have actually has I had a company truck, right? That was essentially my office. And I was trying to figure out how to do it. So I quit. They come get my truck from me. But I realized that the gentleman who is, Peter,
did donate
I
coffee.
do have coffee. If you bring a coffee pot, we can make coffee.
He gave me some coffee. I've already drank it. So
I still got, I huff Peter the bag that Peter gave me. So anyhow, I was trying to figure out what to do with my truck. They just come get it or what? Well, I found out that my boss was from California, kind of a transplant here.
Mm-hmm.
And
California.
Yep. And so when he comes to get trucks, what does he do? He brings out the sheriff's department to come out with him to retrieve.
Nothing like making a scene or making it worse than it needs to be.
Yeah, to retrieve the trucks. And the business
Californians
items.
don't do that. What are you talking about?
The phones, my printer, all that kind of stuff. So I I went ahead and just left it at my friend's house because I figured the worst thing that could happen right now is, I'm known as the gun guy in Buell.
Yeah. Oh, I see where this is
could
going.
just see him calling the sheriff's department and saying, I got to go get this truck. This guy's unstable.
Yeah.
I know he's
That
got
crazy gun guy
I know
in
he's
Buell.
got guns. I got to go I got to go pick up my, company equipment.
Right.
So I was afraid that he was going to call and put that into their heads that I'm some lunatic out here. So I was able to take and drop the truck off at a friend's house.
Wouldn't that be crazy if it happened and Stacy was the one that came out with it?
Well, here's the thing is I know a lot of the people in the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
And they know me, but I would be afraid that if once he called in, he would make a report and then it's down in writing.
Right.
And I don't need that.
Red flag laws. Anyway,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I don't need that. So
by the way, all those guys in the sheriff's department, good job, guys. We like you.
Yeah, we do. But anyhow, I got lots of free time to donate to the podcast for a little while till I can come up. I may become a dairyman in a week. I may go work for a dairy or something.
Well, whatever,
I gotta do something.
That's the thing is you got to do what you got to do.
The wife is pretty agreeable right now, but she keeps looking at me when I fire up the 6 mile per gallon Scout and drive it to Twin. She's like, "What are you gonna do next week when you're not working?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go work out." "What are you driving?" "Well, the Scout." She goes, "Oh my gosh, you got to get a job.
Yep.
You got to get a job and pay for that."
Yeah.
So, anything else going on that we need to talk about before we delve into the news
around this area? I that's the reason why I like living here is because not much happens.
No, it's pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet. So I don't know if he's still on, but I'm looking up at Facebook Live, and thank you for everyone that's commenting and watching. I see my buddy Brad joined, and he's the one. I got to shout out to him. Brad helped me with the intro music. He's the one that put it all together. He's very talented, much more than I am. I don't know if he's still listening and wants to comment at all. I think he probably checked in so he could hear how the equipment was sounding. All this equipment that we're using is actually recommended by Brad. He helps me figure it all out, and he's the one that recommended this board a year ago.
Well,
It took me a little while to get it, but now it's just like I don't know how I ever did the podcast without this little piece of equipment.
I remember that little tiny box that we used to have. This thing is amazing.
But you know what? That little tiny box and this box, same price.
Wow.
And this one does, for what this box does, it should probably cost me, freaking $1,500.
Yeah.
So if Brad's watching, thank you, Brad. I totally appreciate the recommendation. It helped out a ton. So, Hey, so we're getting into, the weather's getting colder, and we're getting into my favorite time of year. And I know I mentioned this, but I get really excited about this, okay? So much easier to conceal carry.
Very much so. Pretty much, I'm actually switching guns.
Ooh, what are you switching to? Because you switch it
the Glock 19
because of the weather.
Yeah.
So
I should, and I know if Rock Holsters ever hears this,
he doesn't listen.
I know. He was in the store the other day, and he was surprised to know that I don't carry the Glock 19.
That you don't carry your
time.
G19. You're right.
So, but yeah,
you using one of his holsters?
No, I'm sorry, but I'm
Dang
not.
It.
Yeah.
So he's never going to sponsor us. I do have one holster from him. It's the hockey puck holster.
Yeah.
I wear that occasionally. No, well, I don't, but it's great. I laugh whenever I see it.
It'd be great if you were, if you chewed tobacco, I guess that would be a good
maybe
one for that too.
we could candy canes.
Yeah. Oh, you can whip them out really quick. Here you go, kid.
There you go. But
that's not creepy at all.
So you're up to carrying your G19 now. I carry the that HK VP9 still.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger than the old G19. Not by much,
though.
But a little bit. But I love it. So much easier to carry, man. So I had and I was so impressed by this. And hell, I'm old now anyway. I mean, I'm 43. I consider myself every day. There's just a new pain. I got a new ache or pain somewhere. But I had this gentleman come down, and we did the shooting portion of his class on, I believe it was Thursday night, and he came down and he appendix carries. Oh, okay. I will check that. I appreciate it. I'll check it out. Thank you, Bob. And he actually appendix carries. An older gentleman that appendix carries, which is it's not. I know there's a lot of people out there that appendix carry, but I don't get a lot of them that like talk about it. People look at me like I'm nuts, and yet he appendix carries. I was so freaking excited.
The expectation versus the reality for me is, I would love to do it, but I just, I just can't do it.
I think you could. There's whole videos dedicated to to bigger guys being able to appendix carry. I really think you could. You need to, the guy that made my $200 holster.
It's not about, it's overcoming the where the gun's pointed thing for me.
Yeah.
It's not about the comfortable thing.
So are you worried about the draw?
Well,
because if you do the
yes and no.
If you do the draw right, you're actually kind of rolling your hip out.
Yeah.
And when you actually are drawing the firearm, it's not aimed at anything.
The thing is I've practiced so much with the way I carry. I'd have to totally retrain myself.
So let me ask you this. So does appendix carry, is it interesting to you? Like something you'd like to do? You just can't get past that? Or you look at it and go, no,
I don't think I'm really even interested. I mean, I've thought about it.
You need to be interested.
But, you know, where I'm comfortable with the way my holster sits now, because I don't even know I'm wearing it.
See, when you carry right at 3 o'clock on your right side,
Yeah.
or should I even say that? Maybe no one.
Well, not right at 3. It's about 3:15.
Because there's actually, to be honest with you, about 3:15 is where I'd have to keep it because there's like a bone and like a nerve over there.
Yeah.
On me anyway, that I can't hardly carry them out now that I kind of don't have as much padding.
Well,
I can't hardly carry.
See, here's
there.
the other thing: is depending on what pair of pants I'm wearing, sometimes there's a belt loop in the way, so I have to kind of readjust it to around whichever pair of pants I'm wearing.
I tell you, appendix carry. You don't ever.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to.
You don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
dude. And pretty soon it becomes one with your junk, and you don't even freaking worry about it. It is what it is, man.
Become one with the force.
It becomes one with the force. You're empowering yourself.
Yeah. Is that anyway, never mind.
Nah, never mind. So, we have, this is Idaho, and
Yes.
we have a lot of people that are just
Love Idaho.
love Idaho, right? Everyone's got a gun, right?
Yep. Everybody.
Most everyone?
I have, yeah. Or 50.
Or 50.
Yeah.
Well, there's some people, Northern Idaho. What do you think of when you think of Northern Idaho?
I think of Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge.
I'm sorry, but I do.
No, I do. I do too. I think of people, with firearms. People raised up around firearms. Well, there's more than one, I'm sure, but there is one that they did a news story on. This gentleman had a way. He was so disturbed and so upset by assault rifles.
The bad part about this, though,
Yes.
is Northern Idaho is becoming more Washington
I
than
know.
it is Idaho.
I was going to move there at one point, and I don't know. I was going to go hide. I was going to go little, like nowhere, like on top of a mountain, give me like half an acre, and no one will even know I
That'd
exist.
be nice.
I still may. It just depends. Maybe me not having a job. Maybe I need to pack my shit up and get out of Dodge.
Did Todd have a beard? No, Grizzly Adams did, but Todd might.
I could grow one.
He'd be a mountain man.
I'd be a mountain man. So anyhow, we're gonna listen to this guy, and we're gonna find out what he did. Pretty
bold.
Pretty bold move for the state that he lives in. So let me see. Here we go.
Made me feel great.
Don't let his calm demeanor fool you. Stan Smith admits he got quite the shock a few weeks ago.
But even more surprised to have
Oh, wait a minute here. You know what? I'm still new to this.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
Oh, I played it from the middle. So.
Oh.
Made me feel great.
Don't let his calm
Wait.
demeanor fool you.
Well, this is no good.
Made me feel great.
Whatever. Play it from
Don't
there.
let his
go.
calm demeanor fool you. Stan Smith admits he got quite the shock a few weeks ago.
But even more surprised to have somebody engage me in a conversation about a gun.
The Latah County man says someone took him up on his self-proposed gun buyback program. We first met Smith last month. His proposal, bring him an assault rifle knowing it will later be destroyed, and Smith will donate $500 to a charity of your choice. It's his way of combating mass shootings, he says. He knew it would be a hard sell, especially in a place like North Idaho. But now a Southern Idaho man has answered his call.
Damn Southern Idaho people.
Whoa, okay. We listened to this earlier, and I didn't hear that part.
We didn't play the whole thing. And in fact, I'm sorry I screwed that up 3 times. I'm still learning the equipment. That's actually where I started the video now that I hear it more. It just sounded funny. My fault, people. But and hopefully I paused this in the right spot. I don't know if I did.
Southern Idaho.
So yes, guy from Southern Idaho took up this Northern Idaho man and his offer for this freaking to buy this gun. And what you're going to hear is a Southern Idaho guy dropped this rifle off with this guy. I don't even know what kind of rifle it is. It doesn't say. Dropped this rifle off because he was in the area because he was going hunting. So he had a truck full of guns.
Apparently. Well, I'm not going to need that one
he dropped
anymore.
that one off. So I'm going to play this, and if it starts over again, we're just going to play it from there, and I'm not going to pause it anymore. Like I said, I'm still learning this freaking crap.
Well, hopefully it works.
In late October, Smith says the man, who lives in Caldwell, contacted him saying he had an assault rifle to give him.
I had one goal. I wanted to acquire one gun for that price with the expressed intention that it would be destroyed. So I achieved my goal.
The man was heading to North Idaho to hunt and met up with Smith to give him the gun. It's now being held by a friend of Smith's who happens to be a Mennonite. Worth noting, Smith says.
My attitude, if you can't trust a Mennonite, there's nobody you can trust.
The Caldwell man told Smith to choose the charity where the money will go. Smith says he'll give the cash to Family Promise, a Moscow charity that works with homeless families. He admits he's still surprised someone took him up on his offer. But seeing the assault rifle being reduced to smithereens is all worth it, he says.
It's still in safekeeping until I get ready to take it, to have it cut to pieces by a laser.
Smith declined to elaborate on who will be destroying the rifle, but indicated he had someone lined up. In Latah County, Taylor Vito, Crim 2 News.
Oh, man.
So let me ask you this, okay, before we get into the middle of that, after I freaking screwed that soundbite all up. So we've seen the video where people are like cutting these rifles down.
Yeah.
they were destroying them.
Make sure you wear your safety glasses when you're doing that.
But we've seen the video where they cut them off, and as soon as they make that first cut, guess what they've just done?
Yep.
They've created a short-barreled rifle.
Yeah, you just broke the law.
You just broke the law. So anyhow, that'd be funny if that happened and he got caught. I doubt he will, but by a laser. The dude is going to go have it cut up by a laser. I know someone with a freaking chop saw.
I was going to say, you could part that thing out and get more money for it.
You probably could. And you could donate. You could donate more to the charity.
There you go.
So I don't know. They are amongst us. They are here. They are in Boise, right? I mean,
and they're labeling it an assault rifle. I mean, I just don't get that.
My daughter, and this is it's not off topic, but it's off this article. But my daughter, she's a senior in high school right now. She messaged me in the middle of the day, Dad, what's AR stand for? And whenever I know that, man, I always respond like right away.
Yeah.
It stands for Armalite Rifle. Well, that was the name of the company that first developed the AR-15, hence AR, Armalite Rifle. 15 was the model number. Not what the media would have you think. The media would have you make you think that it means assault rifle. They're the ones that coined that term.
Yeah.
I was so proud of her for picking up on that and clarifying that. I don't know if it was with another student or a teacher or something like that. I always love it.
As a teacher.
Me too. I love it when they can stick it to those liberal hacks. But
whoa. Well, they don't listen anyway.
Not all teachers. Not all teachers, mind you. But there you go. So that guy up in northern Idaho, he's gonna fight back. One firearm.
Fight the power.
One firearm.
Easy there, Ruby. Anyway.
Yeah, one firearm. He's gonna make himself an SBR and admire it for a minute, and he's gonna cut the handle or cut the stock off of it too.
Yeah.
So he's got an actual pistol. He's gonna screw up
all. Keep on going.
He's gonna screw up all over the place.
Maybe somebody should give him a grenade so he can chop that up.
Kaboom! I wonder how much I'd get for this.
Only if it was live.
How it is? He doesn't know that.
Well, that'd be great if it was.
He probably thinks he probably thinks. Well, he's still calling that rifle an assault rifle. He don't know shit.
Let's put a laser on it. And
he don't know. He don't know nothing. I'll tell him I've got a grenade with a red dot on it.
Hey, you know what? We should mount a red dot on that thing. Anyway, that's different.
This will be our assault. This will be our assault grenade. We'll call it our AG. But what you got? You got a story over there. What do you got going on?
Gun-free zones. Licenses for ammo dealers, gun safety advocates.
This is Washington State.
This is all Washington State. Yeah,
of course
you could have figured that one.
Of course it is.
Anyway, they're extending the whole gun-free zone, which by the way, everybody knows this doesn't work.
Yeah.
So to include child care centers, because, you don't want parents bringing their kids, dropping them off at the child care center with a gun.
Being able to protect their children.
Yeah.
And the bad guys are going to listen to that anyway.
Sure, yeah. Why not?
I mean, the bad guys are going to see that and going to say, "Holy crap!"
You
I
know,
gotta
that's
leave
like the
in
news.
car."
That's like the news telling the Taliban where we're going to attack next. I mean, geez, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. So Washington's just laying down all this stuff, and it's just more and more every day. Seems like.
Well, we talked about it. They let a little in, and now look what's coming.
Yep, they're just You pull the rope a little bit, you got to pull it the rest of the way.
Here, hold my beer and watch this. We're gonna hit it. And I keep interrupting you. And
No, that's what's going on, though. I mean, that's the long and short of this article is pretty much, aren't
they taxing ammo or doing something?
Yeah,
else
it
too?
sounds like it. There's so that initiative 1639, which was the no semi-automatic rifles or shotguns, even for unless you were over 21. Well, that's obviously trickled over to Idaho because, we are allowed to sell rifles and stuff to out-of-state residents.
Right.
But
not now.
Not to Washington state residents. Now, we can't sell anything unless it's a bolt-action rifle. We could sell it that. But if it's a semi-auto shotgun, if they wanted to go duck hunting here, nope, no more.
Pumps are better anyway.
But anyway, yeah, that's where this thing's heading. Leave it to our government. They're not our leaders, by the way. They are elected by us. We lead them. So they're not really representing us very well, as far as I'm concerned.
No. So anyhow, we need to pay attention because we got little California up in Boise now, up in Ada County. And, stuff could turn. We feel like we're okay now, but stuff could turn overnight, man. Stuff could turn overnight in this state. You got to get out. You've got to vote. I know in the local election, I don't have the numbers, but I know the local elections that we had just here, like in Twin Falls the other day, was a very poor turnout as far as voter turnout. We've got to pay attention to who we are electing, to who's running the state, who's running the cities, who's running, the school board, that kind of stuff. We got to pay attention. You can't let those people in that believe differently than what you got to elect those people uphold the same values as you do. And we've got to do our best. We got to make our stand.
It's really not just an attack on gun rights. It's an attack on the Constitution, period.
Right.
And, a lot of these rights, as I put it, are inalienable. They're God-given rights. I mean, everybody has the right to protect themselves.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Don't let them infringe on that.
So we have got, let me look at my little thing here. We've kind of mentioned teachers. Okay. So now there's a couple articles come out that are talking about over in Utah or wherever teachers can carry, but they focused on Utah. So in Utah, you can carry in a K through 12 school. So teachers are allowed to carry firearms into the schools. And they actually had, and I hate to even say this, we talked about this earlier, but they had I don't know, it was a few months back or what, they had some lockdown over in like Salt Lake area on the schools. And so law enforcement was in there clearing the buildings and different things. And they reported, this is the bad thing. They reported that they found a lot of firearms, unsecured firearms in classrooms, in desks, on desks, in desk drawers, in bags, and purses that were the teachers. They were unsecured. They were just there. Really, people? It's time to be a little more responsible. I am all for teachers being able to carry. I do not want to incentivize it because then you're going to get the wrong people carrying for the wrong reasons. But if you want to carry, you need to be trained or you need to go search out training or something. Well, this sheriff saw what was happening and he's like, man, this isn't good. They're going to carry anyway. And they volunteered to offer up some training on shooting and what you should do. And they actually took these teachers, whoever wanted to sign up. He said they signed up for the first one like within like an hour, and then they started signing up for the second and the third one.
Yeah, well, that's good because
yeah.
I mean, just because you're allowed to do it, a lot of the people may take that opportunity to do so, but if they're not, familiar with how to do it,
right,
then that can be very detrimental.
So let's take a listen to what they're doing here in Utah and see if I can not screw this one up.
At a sheriff department training center in Utah, the sound of gunshots means class is in session. But these aren't police. They are school teachers and faculty being taught how to stop and kill an active shooter. Around a corner, Brenda Betteridge has just spotted her target.
Can I shoot this?
Yeah. One more. Put it in the head. Good. So what do you think?
That was exhilarating, kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, you're
shaking. Yeah, still. Yeah, because you don't know what to expect. And
I don't like that
you
one.
walk in and you see a gunman with a young child. You know, this has got to count.
If there was a student that brought a gun to school, and a student that you possibly knew, would you be able to stop him with a gun?
That's a really loaded question. And I think, depending...
That's who it is,
It would be tough. It would be heartbreaking.
It would
but
be, but
just think of how it would alter life if you didn't do something.
But as radical as all this might seem, under Utah state law, teachers have been allowed to carry guns into schools for years, as long as they're secured and concealed.
One of the fears has to be that there's going to be an accidental discharge in a school, right?
It could happen. But again, I go back to the guns are in the school.
They're already there.
They're there.
I'm going to be right behind you.
If they're going to do it, we need to help them prepare for it.
Sheriff Mike Smith says after a lockdown in Salt Lake City, deputies found unsecured guns left by teachers in places like a desk and a purse. So he decided it was time to start training educators how to carry a gun.
Yeah.
The minute the word got out, our class filled up. And we had a waiting list for the next class.
Is it just teachers?
No, it's majority of teachers, but we have custodians, we have librarians, we have administrators.
Custodians and librarians are trying to sign up too.
Yep.
And did you still need a gun?
Yes.
Okay.
His course is extensive, covering everything from first aid for a child gunshot victim,
Come out.
self-defense, de-escalation, all the way to marksmanship,
Get that sight.
and basic tactics.
Are you at all worried about a kid possibly getting your gun at school?
No, it'd be on my person at all times, secure and concealed.
The country's going to be asking why? Why take a gun into the classroom?
Those parents send those kids to school expecting that they're going to be kept safe. Right now, that's on the teachers. It's my job. They look to me as the person who's going to keep them safe.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with the thing that gentleman said at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
He said those parents, and this is what I brought up in the school board meeting that I went to, and I tried to get my kids to school to allow carry, is if I'm sending my kids to school, they are your responsibility at that point. I'd rather keep them home.
Yeah.
But if I have to send them to school, they are your responsibility. It's your job to protect them like they would be protected at home, and that's with a freaking firearm.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and that's the thing, is that goes back to that whole thing. They have armed security protecting your money.
Right.
Why not have that for your kids? Which one's more precious to you?
Right.
No,
I totally agree, but definitely if they, and I hate to even hear that it happened, but I mean, I guess you know that it does. But if they went in and they found firearms, unsecured. So if you're going to carry in school, if you're a teacher, a custodian, a whatever, that gun needs to be on you. There should be no off-body carry in that school. No gun in a bag, no gun in a safe, no anything. That gun needs to be on your person at all times. That is the safest place for it. No one's going to take that fire. If they don't see it, they're not going to take it. And if it's on you, you're going to know if someone's trying to take it. If you are uncomfortable carrying a firearm on you because you just don't like it, or because it is just physically uncomfortable to you, you don't like the way it feels, it hurts or whatever, you shouldn't carry a firearm at school. If they are going to be at school, they need to be carried on your person. I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because I was a kid, man. You get into everything.
And I mean, if not on your person, and if it's not directly that you're allowed to carry it on you, I would say a safe would be an option.
Right.
But, that would be something, that only certain people obviously have access to.
Right.
So,
but that's just they need to be on the body. You can't just have it all.
Well, there goes my phone.
All willy nilly. Yeah, Mark's over here racking his gun. So speaking of that, there's another article I didn't print off. I just remembered it, and I'm going to read it. It takes place out of Jackson, Mississippi. It says the Jackson Police Department is investigating a deadly shooting as an accident after a man shot himself. A man was getting out of his car when he accidentally discharged his handgun, shooting and critically injuring himself. He later died from his injuries. That's pretty much the article. It doesn't say what gun.
Nope.
It doesn't say if it was. So that leaves it all open to suggestion. Think it was in a holster?
This would be why I would not make a good detective. Well, that was an easy investigation.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but how do you think the gun went off? Do you think it was in a holster? I want to know, man. They're leaving out some critical details here. Was that a freaking SIG he was carrying?
Well, yeah.
Taro would always point out, is that a SIG?
Right. So, yeah, did it drop? Did it fail the California drop test?
Yeah.
I mean, what happened, you know?
Yeah. And it wasn't like he just creased his leg. I mean, he died from his injuries.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something horribly bad went.
something went awry.
Yeah, something wrong.
Something went very, very wrong there. But let me see here. Oh, here's one. Gun owner was killed trying to stop Houston pawn shop robbery. So it starts here. It says gun owner was shot and killed while trying to intervene in a pawn shop robbery. So he was trying to intervene, okay? 2 masked men entered this is a creative name, Easy Pawn Store, and they forced employees to the ground and rushed to the back of the store. The victim, who police said had a concealed handgun license, waited inside for the suspected robbers to return to the front of the store.
Oh, boy.
No. That's right where he went wrong, right?
Yep.
Okay. Once they came to the front, the victim pulled his gun and exchanged gunfire with the 2 suspects, police said. The victim was struck several times and fell to the floor where he eventually died.
Yep.
So what do you think? He pulled his gun and yelled at him, put that down.
Yeah, remember the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo. So they force you to the ground, and then they go to the back of the store.
Well,
so why don't you get up and leave?
Yeah, leave. You have the opportunity to go.
Why don't you leave?
Yeah, I'm going to ambush them.
It is stuff. That stuff has. Maybe they didn't pay.
There's a point.
Policy.
Like there's a point where you are literally legitimately fighting for your life.
Yeah,
but there's a point where
that's not it.
I don't think that was it. I think, why would you wait?
Those people were leaving with some cosmetic jewelry, some fake
Let them go.
jewelry.
Let them go.
Let them go. They hadn't. It's not your stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it wasn't his.
Even if it's
Easy pawn store.
Even if it's your store, what? Just let him go.
Yeah. Is it worth your life? Obviously not.
Well, he thought it was, and now he's dead.
Yep.
So I don't. When the threat is over, they went to the back room. You need to leave. Go call police. Chances are he could have went and called police and it would have ended a lot. Now they're looking for these guys that shot and killed this dude. This is
the thing. You got to use your head. I mean, yeah, I know it's a stressful situation. I get that, but don't make it worse.
Right.
That's just plain stupidity.
You put yourself in harm's way.
You literally made it worse for yourself.
I mean, it says right in the article, he waited at the front of the store for them to come back. So they were gone. No one had eyes on you. Because you were able to wait there and draw your firearm and freaking wait for them to come back. Really? Yeah. You were setting up a trap for them.
Yeah. Wiley Cody.
What would have happened?
Backfired, didn't it?
What would have happened had that guy, he drew his handgun and fired, obviously, and he died because he got shot. Had he caused them to shoot back and a round missed him and killed someone else?
Right.
An innocent
then
bystander.
Guess what? He's no longer playing the hero at that point.
Yeah, he started it.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That's even, yeah. Don't do that kind of stuff.
So we need to get back on the topic. By the way, I'll let everyone know here, and we're all over the board. I don't know why I expect this to ever go, any smoother than it always goes, but
we try.
We try. I did do an interview with Tiger on his run and gun, and the reason why I bring that up, I haven't released that yet. It's a very good interview, and it will be released soon, hopefully. But we had the last podcast. We had a nice little discussion about red dots on firearms, and I talked to Tiger and listened to that. He's got some pretty good thoughts. I'll save his thoughts for his podcast. But you said you discussed it with some people at the store, right?
Yeah.
And what are people's thoughts on it? Like, were they discussing it with you, or did they actually see it on Facebook and come in and talk to you about it?
I maybe one or two
saw it on Facebook,
but.
So people do see.
People do see.
I'm so freaking excited.
But a lot of it was, certain guns that people were looking at, like the new Hellcat with the slide cutout for the optic, or the 365 XL with the same thing. People ask what it is, even if they're not familiar with it.
Right.
I tell them, so you can put a red dot or whatever on it. And some people just like play it off like, oh, okay.
You want to look cool.
And other people are just like, the one guy specifically, I don't know his name or anything, but he kind of looked at me like, well, why would you do that?
Exactly.
On that type of a handgun, why would you do that? Why? I mean, this is the thing is you have stuff that works,
right?
And it won't fail you,
right?
Because it doesn't need batteries. You don't have to rely on it. You just have to train with it.
Yeah.
On the red dot optic, you're going to get complacent. You're going to rely on, certain things. The same thing with lasers. The guns that have lasers, I would say if you want a laser, use it only as a training tool.
Right.
Do not expect it to save your life.
So this point
the gun is what saves your life, not the optic.
This point was brought up, and when I was talking to someone, and you guys will hear that later, not this show, but another show. He said, "Hey, look, let's face the facts here." And I did have to agree. He goes, most of your defensive confrontations anymore, they aren't right up and close and personal. I mean, we have more and more active shooter type scenarios.
True.
Where they're further out. They're 40 feet, they're 50 feet, whatever they might be. So he's like, what about then and there? Are you going to trust someone who might be a newer shooter to actually use iron sights? Well, here's the thing. I'm not there to be a hero. I'm not there to take the bad guy out. I'm there to get myself out and to get my family out. They're number one priority. And unless the fight comes to me, then I will, then I'll jump in and take care of it. But I'm not looking to be a hero. But, he's like, well, if the guy has a red dot and he wants to be a hero or he wants to try and stop it, that allows him a little easier, able to do that. Well, what I'm worried about is that's going to cause someone, having a red dot on is going to cause someone to want to be a hero. Someone who I wish and I hope and I pray that when people leave my class, they go out and they shoot their firearms. But I probably know that 75% of them do not shoot those guns. Mm-hmm. They do not shoot that gun that they carry every single day. You put a red dot on it, someone has a red dot on it, they might think, hey, look, I don't have to practice. I got this magic tool. I got this magic tool, this magic red dot on this gun, and it's easy to shoot, and I can shoot. It's going to provide false confidence. And if they use it and it doesn't work because they don't practice, because you still need to practice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A red dot does not take the place of grip, of stance, of trigger press, of
the fundamentals.
Of it does not cure flinches.
No.
Okay.
You've practiced your fundamentals regardless of what sight you have.
It does not replace muscle memory.
Right.
Right? So I'm afraid it's going to give someone false confidence, and they're going to go and they're going to use it, and they shouldn't. Now, am I totally against red dots? I'm not. They're fun to shoot. I've shot some. They're fun if you compete. If you want to put one on your carry gun, go for it. I don't think it's required. I like to see when people don't have them on their carry gun. But I'm worried about what it can cause. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So here's the thing that I tell people is, especially on the Hellcat, it's a $30 difference to get the optics ready version versus the regular version.
Right.
I tell them, look, me personally, I would not put a red dot on this, but it's probably beneficial to spend the extra $30. Get it. If you don't like the gun,
resell.
It's going to up the resale.
Yeah.
I mean,
it will.
So, so I'm not totally opposed to it, especially on a race gun or somewhere where you're out at the range or something. Especially.
But who's building a race gun out of a freaking Hellcat?
Out of the Hellcat, exactly.
I mean,
that's kind of my point.
Or a Smith & Wesson.
Your gun that you're carrying on you is for a purpose.
It's not a race gun.
It's a defensive gun.
If you can carry a full-size race gun, more power to you.
Yeah, no, now, if a red dot gives you an upper edge, I guess, over your assailant or whatever, if you feel like that actually does, I guess go for it. But
right.
If you don't train with it, it doesn't make any difference.
I'm just afraid. I'm just so afraid it gives people, false confidence. Because I've had people come in with red dots and they whip them out and they whip out their guns and they start shooting in class.
So here's one,
and they don't, or even lasers.
Yeah, here's the thing. I was going to go off on lasers.
They start following this laser and they aren't even looking at their sights.
Yeah. So here's the thing: this happened not too long ago. Some lady's like, "Well, I want a laser because if I don't shoot the person, I want them to at least know that I've got the laser on them." And that's gonna scare them enough.
Sure.
Like, do you really think somebody's gonna look down at their chest and say, "Oh, I have a laser on me. I better stop doing what I'm doing"?
I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen the people that show up to the class with the laser. I still to this day cannot figure out how they even hit the target.
And their laser's not even dialed in
because their laser is going squiggling all over the place.
Yeah.
But yet they still somehow figure out how to hit the target.
Oh yeah,
it's just it amazes me.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, granted, it's not consistent, but anyway.
The red dots are cool and all, and whatever. I'm not against you if you want to do it. It's not for me, and I just don't think it's for the average Joe. I really don't.
If it gives you an advantage, I can see it, but I think training is what gives you the advantage.
Well, and I think when you carry a firearm, you should be looking for a way out, not necessarily to run. I hate, there's some people out there. I just don't think the average Joe, the average person should not be like, I'm going to go hunt down that shooter in Walmart. I'm going to go, tell the wife, take the kids, run back to the car. I'm going to go hunt this sucker down. That's a bad idea.
Bad idea because you know who else is coming in that door?
Yeah.
The police.
Yeah.
If you're trying to hunt down the guy, guess what? You're then the target.
Hey, because you're running around with your firearm out.
Exactly.
I mean,
there's things that you should get into, and there's things that you should stay out of.
I bought the gun to be able to defend myself, not to create a hero out of myself. That's
so. Getting on the defend yourself thing, we watched a video just before the podcast started.
Right.
I'm sure some of you may have seen it. It is on Facebook and stuff. It might be security footage or something, but there's a gal walking down the street. A car pulls, in front of her, stops. The guy gets out and aggressively comes towards her and even grabs her.
Yeah, yeah. You watched it numerous times.
Yeah, numerous times. And she backed up, which she was trying to give herself space, which I totally...
Great move.
Great move. Gave her time to draw her firearm and fire, I think twice.
Yeah.
From what we gathered into him, stopping the threat. I don't know... if you could put a link on the Patriot Defense page.
I'll grab
that video.
I'll post it up. In fact, I might be able to do it right now while we talk.
It is a very good video. There's a lot of things that were done well.
A lot of things.
There was one thing that I could nitpick is she knelt down and grabbed something out of her bag, probably her cell phone or something, I'm assuming. But, at that point, I don't know that the threat was completely stopped still. So I would have been more focused on the threat than the phone. But that's about the only thing I can nitpick.
Yeah, I'm having trouble getting it posted. I'll have to check it out after the video.
So look for it later on.
And that's a really good point. You want to create distance.
Yeah, and she did an amazing job at that.
We talk about in class when we think we've talked about on here the 21-foot rule. Distance is your friend. The further away you can get, the better. And she created distance, and it enabled her.
It bought her those precious seconds
Yep. To try to get her gun out. Because if someone comes up on you, it's going to be really hard to draw at that point. She was able to get her gun out, get two shots off, and she still backed up, creating distance.
Yeah.
The only thing is I don't know. She was getting her phone out. It looked like. I don't know if she kept her gun out at the time. You still need to keep your gun out, right? The guy looked like he was bleeding out there. He tried to get up and then he fell back down again.
Yeah.
You still need to keep your firearm out because you don't know if he's going to pop back up again or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea. So I'm not critiquing her too hard. She survived. She's alive. That's the whole point of everything there. So she did good. She did right. So
if you get an opportunity, check out that video though. It's a pretty good one.
I want to talk about another video, the one that we kind of talked about, and I want to do a shout out. I know here's the thing. I I lean all over the place, right? I mean, I talk about this, I talk about that. My opinions they run wild in this podcast some days, sometimes. And I'm not anti-law enforcement. I question everything. That's the thing. But I watched a video the other day, and I know I don't click on a lot of these because they're kind of the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. It says, police are going in to get this kidnapper. And I think, well, I've seen this 100 times. They're going to kick the door open. They're going to go in and get the bad guy, whatever. Why do I need to watch this? I clicked on it. I watched it. Okay. Kudos to these guys for reining in their emotions, because I don't know that I could have done this. And what happened is it said, the video said, girl was just kidnapped. She was just within the last hour or so. They had located where she was with the kidnapper. She was in this hotel room. SWAT or whoever went in there. They went in there. They knocked on the door. They kicked the freaking door down. They went in there. They found the little girl huddled in the corner. Okay, she was 10 or 11. Of course, it's all blurred out and legal. And all she had was a shirt on. She was naked from the waist down. And they grabbed her with a blanket, put a blanket around there, getting her out. As they swing around, and this might get a little graphic for some people, but it kind of drives the point that I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. Drives it home. As they swing around, they show the bed in the hotel room with towels on it, and you can tell that there's blood on it. And then they turn around. Some guy yells, "Here he is, here he is!" And I don't know why there's a camera. I don't know if it's a body camera or
footage?
something. I don't know. They flip around, and there's the kidnapper. He's freaking not a stitch of clothing on, and he's there. And I'm just like, you right as you saw it, you knew what had happened, right? Without getting graphic, you knew what had happened. I tell you what, my blood pressure went through the roof, and I'm like, someone needs to shoot that son of a bitch. Yeah. Someone needs, and kudos for them for
restraining themselves.
That's the word, restraining themselves. Because right then and there, I wanted to be a cop, and I wanted to go out, and I wanted to kill every one of those people that I come into contact with right at that moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably looks bad.
It grabs at your emotions.
It pulls at your emotions. I've got little kids, and kudos to those cops for. I mean, they didn't even freaking punch the dude.
Oh, I would have at least.
They didn't even rough him.
Oh, he fell down the stairs.
They didn't even.
I would have at least done that.
They didn't even rough him up.
That's difficult to not do something.
So there's a lot of good law enforcement out there. There are some bad apples out there. There are groups of bad apples, and that seems to be the only thing that we hear on the news. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, that one just it tugged at my emotions a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So
it's still a little too close.
Yeah. Kudos to them. But let's talk about one more thing here as I rustle through my papers. I need a paper rustling freaking button.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just do a paper shredder or something.
Paper shredder. Yeah, exactly. So it says Virginia Dems attack parental authority with new gun bill. Go figure. There's going to be some more gun control coming to Virginia. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
It says Democrats in Virginia are already pre-filing bills in preparation of the 2020 legislative session that will kick off early in January. It's the first time in 26 years that Democrats are in complete control of the state's levers of government. So expect some more gun control issues.
That's bad news bears right there.
To be coming. One that they talk about in here is this SB 18. It's a gun control bill that not only imposes universal background checks on firearm transfers, but it also makes it a class 1 misdemeanor for any person knowingly to authorize a child under the age of 18 to use a firearm except when the person is under supervision of an adult.
So it's not just the parent then, it's any person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any person. So that answers your question.
Yeah, I had that earlier, yeah.
So what it is if you think about it, and it brings us up, it's any child under the age of 18, when their parents are home, they cannot use a firearm. An adult present, they cannot use a firearm.
So if they're out hunting.
They're out hunting.
In a tree stand.
They're 16 years old.
Well, there's a white-tailed deer. I'm going to shoot it. But
yes,
I can't because I don't have supervision.
Well, they can, but then the people who are supposed to be supervising them, the parents, are
going to
get a class 1 misdemeanor for it. So your daughter's at home. Let's say she's 17 years old.
Oh, yeah.
She's 17 years old. She's by herself. She's in a nice, quiet neighborhood. Nothing ever happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone breaks in.
Uh-oh.
They're going to rape her. They're going to rape her, murder her, steal your stuff, whatever. Guess what?
She can't get to a gun to protect herself.
She can't defend herself.
Because the parents
will get a class 1 misdemeanor.
If they don't lock their stuff up. Yep.
But funny thing, so they can't defend themselves. But there's another bill that's coming too. It's called SB 21. It's going to remove the requirement that a parent or judge provide consent before a minor of any age can get an abortion, as well as several other charges to the state's laws regarding abortion providers. So your daughter can't defend herself. Your child can't defend themselves, but your daughter can't defend themselves against people that want to murder them, but they can go and get an abortion and kill someone and be okay with it.
That seems a little ass backwards to me.
It seems a little backwards to me as well. So, I mean, you got these kids that are raised up on farms. They can't do anything. They can't even go out and shoot rabbits. They can't go out and shoot tin cans. They can't do anything.
No.
They can do absolutely nothing. Or unless their parents are right there, or
Right.
a responsible adult over the age of 18 is right there. So they're attacking everything. They're attacking hunting. They're attacking.
They have no chance.
They have no chance whatsoever.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to leave my 12-year-old in the house with access to a gun. I wouldn't do that. But if you're talking a 17 or 16-year-old that has been around guns, knows, respects guns,
right,
stuff like that. I don't know. I've read too many times where, a 15-year-old kid stopped a burglary or a home invasion or something.
Right.
I mean, I've read that before. I know I've read that before.
But they're moving in on you. And that's Virginia. If they get away with that.
Yeah.
Now, guess what?
It's not going to stop there. Just ask Washington.
Yeah, I say, guess what, Washington? Guess what's going to happen? If they get away with that, everything's going to hell after that. So I am trying to find this. Looked like someone tagged us in a post. Matthew Martin said, tagged you in a post moments ago about how red flag laws at work seems to be happening at this very moment. I am trying to find that. I'm sure you did, but we have trouble with our Wi-Fi out here. So I'll tell you what, Matthew, I'll check it out and we can bring it up on the next podcast. I can't actually get it brought up right now. Where I'm at, my Wi-Fi is stretched pretty thin. I mean, Mark can attest to that.
Yeah, I have to turn mine off so I don't interfere with this.
Wi-Fi is stretched
feed.
Pretty thin, so I'm not getting the updates like I should. And we're not cool enough to be able to pull up another screen and do all that because, everything will implode if we do that, right?
Yeah, we're running. Well, let's see. Oh, you don't have your computer anymore.
I don't have to have my computer
That's cool.
anymore.
Yeah. So we're running 2 screens as it is. So
yeah.
Essentially one, but one's just a bigger screen.
Well, and then anything that they're running in okay, he said hello.
Yeah, okay.
Said thumbs up. Anything they're running in the house.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Yeah.
And I guarantee you, and see, if my daughter, my son's there, my wife.
He's got kids. They're on the internet.
There's an iPad streaming Wi-Fi. There's a TV streaming Wi-Fi. My son is probably playing video games on Wi-Fi on an iPhone, and if my daughter is there to pick up my granddaughter, she's probably on her phone as well. So yeah, we're stretched really thin. I'll find it though. I'll print it out. We'll talk about it next podcast. How's that sound? He said thumbs up, so we're good. Okay. I don't want anyone to think that I'm ignoring them.
We got one of our one of the people that's been on the podcast before. He's coming back to the area.
Joshua.
So we may actually get
he's got some stories.
A couple more Mike filler uppers, I guess.
Mike filler uppers.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what you want to call them.
Mike filler uppers.
More podcast members. There we go.
More podcast members. Oh yeah, he's been on the past. He was here in the beginning too, and he moved away and he's moving back, and so we're excited to have Josh out here.
Welcome back
whenever he can.
Josh.
And we can't all be here all the time. I'm here all the time because this is my house. But we can't all be here all the time, so give us another option, someone else to fill in, and so that'll be awesome. We look forward to that. I know he's got some stories. He's been telling me some stories. He's called me and texted me, and he wanted me to talk about them on the pod. I said, just hold on to him, man. We'll just talk about it on the podcast later on. Everything will go good. So if you like the podcast, I think we're about done here, aren't we?
I think so.
I think so. So if you like the podcast, we appreciate that. You listen to it. We really appreciate it. We would really appreciate it if you shared it with your friends and family. The more views, the more downloads we can get, the better. So if you know someone who might like it, tell them to take a listen. But not only listen to it, download it. Download it. And subscribe to it, I guess. Subscribe to it. We need this subscription.
That's the word.
We need to get better at this podcast game. Here you go.
We try, folks. Come on.
Here you go. Todd is jobless. As of right now, I am jobless. And if I don't find something soon, I'll be soon to be homeless. So maybe we get the podcast to generate a few bucks. We can go mainstream and we can give Joe Rogan a run for his money.
Go Joe. I mean, wait.
Whoa.
Go. Yeah, never
go
mind.
The Patriot Defense Podcast.
See, I already ruined it.
So share it with your friends, get them to subscribe, and after they subscribe, I really don't care if they listen to it anymore. You hit that automatic subscribe button, then it automatically downloads every single week, and that's all I need. Really,
I care if you listen. I like people listening.
Do you even listen?
Pleading the fifth on
which
that
one do you listen to? You don't listen to ours. Who do you listen to?
I do Joe Rogan, but
what the hell, dude?
And I do Colion Noir and other ones.
What the hell, dude?
I listen occasionally. I mean, I got all these other ones. I can't listen all the time.
You can listen to the one that you're on. That's the most important one.
I hate the sound of my voice, though.
Oh, I think it sounds great.
I don't know. I sound like a girly man.
I think it sounds...
I'm not as sultry and sexy as Tarver. Come on now.
What do you, Tarver's not... Wait, hang on.
He's talking about the High Point.
That guy?
That guy.
With his simplicity and elegance.
They are simple.
High Point.
And everybody laughed at me for that.
Simple.
But
big.
In a way... It works.
It must be a Louisiana thing.
Tarver works.
It's got to be, the Cajun cowboy loves his freaking High Point.
Yeah. Man, that guy.
That guy.
I miss his voice, I'll tell you.
I miss him and his boudin balls.
That's okay. No,
okay.
Don't go there.
So,
whoa.
Okay, that's enough. Anyhow, share it with your family. Listen to it when you're driving to Thanksgiving. If you got a comment, if you got a question, you can email us at Patriot Defense. Email me at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com. Called it. Must not like the sound of his own voice.
Yep.
Yeah. You know that guy?
No.
There you go.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
he's listening. We appreciate that. Where are you listening from, Matthew? Let us know. If you got a comment or a question, you can also call me. You can text me, area code 620-794-6223. That's area code 620-794-6223. And I want to throw this out here, Mark, and see what you think. We got this new technology now, and they haven't heard me take a phone, but I can take a phone call on here via Bluetooth. And I'm going to tell you right now, the audio is 500% better than what it was with a phone call.
Where's Dean?
It is so yeah. it is so good. But I think we need to get some people to call in. I think we need someone.
I think it'd be fun.
Someone with
at least experiment.
A self-defense story, a question, something. You let me know. You text me. We set it up, and I will call you. We'll call you live on the podcast. It'd be great to do a podcast where we had like 5 or 6 people. We could just call up.
Yeah.
Answer questions for them. They could hit us with questions that we don't know the answers, or that we know the answers to, but we haven't heard before. That would San Antonio, Texas.
Right
like it. Well, hey, Matthew, I'm going to interact with Matthew here. He's on here. Where'd you hear about the show from, Matthew? Let us know. Did you find it on, who recommended it? How'd you find it? You on Spotify, iTunes, what? But if we could do a show with 5 or 6 people on it, asking us questions, that would be absolutely fantastic.
We're working this thing out. It's gonna happen.
It takes a little bit of time, but call me, text me, let me know, and we can get you on the show. Oh.
If you do have questions for me, you can go through Todd or come see me at the gun counter.
Yeah,
y'all know where to find me.
Y'all know where to find. What's that?
It's I don't know. It's an I don't know emoji thingy.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I got to get my kid out here to look at that. I don't know what that means.
That just showed your age right there.
It really. I'm old and now I'm jobless and yeah. Anyhow,
right on.
there we go. I think we are done for today. So like you said, share it with your friends, share it with your family. And I don't know, I'll have something for you next week. I don't know if we will be back next week. But
holiday weekend kind of thing.
The holiday weekend, we'll just kind of have to play it out.
I'll try and be available if
you can be available. I'd love to do one.
Yeah.
And instead of filling it in with Tigers, we'll just have 2 out one week. That will be fantastic. So until then, we are done. I'm going to hit this button, and I did hit this button at the very beginning, right? We've been recording this whole time, correct?
I hope so. Good Lord, I hope.
Okay.
Oh man,
everyone, hey,
don't do that to me.
Everyone, have a good Thanksgiving. Get out and do some shooting with your family. I'm going to actually go buy some ammo, and I think we're going to do some shooting out here.
Can't shoot a turkey, shoot some clays or something.
Yeah,
get out there and do some
freaking
shooting.
meatloaf or some shit.
Ew.
So, okay, see you next week. Bye.